Hello, I'm Lori Steiner, sitting in for Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, are you living with pain? We'll prescribe methods to manage it. We'll look at the novel ways the library is writing its own new chapter. Then, we'll meet a woman with plenty of reasons to smile. Plus, we'll help you operate your way to a successful surgery. And we'll court you through the latest legal news.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. Arthritis, back pain, headaches, it's painful to admit, but at least 1 in 6 of us experiences discomfort on a daily basis. So what are our options when pains become a constant companion? Dr. Toby Tabah is here with the Pain Management Group at Metro Health. He's here with pain-reducing remedies. So we're happy to see you here today. You're in pain management, but you like pain. So what's that all about?
Well, it's not really liking pain, but the pain is an important part of our life. It's an essential part for our organism to survive in life. So if we are born, there is some disease, a genetic disease, that kids born without feeling any pain. These kids, they would not survive beyond middle-aged life. What happened to them, they don't feel any feedback from the environment. I have pictures, you can see the legs completely gone, and by the age of 10, they bite their finger, they don't feel it, they bite their tongue, they don't feel it. So pain is really a very important part of our life, and this is what brings us to the doctors, is pain.
Which is an important part of it,
yeah.
Right?
But the thing is that what we intervene is, when is the pain become a chronic?
Okay, so what happens when it becomes chronic? That's like it's going on what seems like forever.
The thing is that there is definition in medicine that we really have to understand. I like to teach always my resident, my medical students about it, is that the pain is sensory and emotional experience. That means the pain is you have sensation, you feel it, and you have emotion associated with the pain, you like it or you don't like it, and then you have an experience. That's something registered in your brain associated with these, like love, hate, relationships, stuff like that. So all of that, and then could be associated with tissue damage, or you may not see the tissue damage. If you have fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, if you have all these diseases, most of them, you had 5-6 back surgeries. We can't fix your back, everything looks good. That means, where is that pain coming from? So that's when the disease now becomes called pain. So the healing process is done, everything looks good, but you have a disease called pain.
Still got the pain. It must be hard to live with day in and day out.
Oh, it is amazing. The stories that I have seen, it's a disaster. You see people go into major depression, they lose their job, economy of the house, of the family, it changes, the relationship between the spouse. Many of them, I had a patient for 15, I think like 5 years or something, never could make love to his wife. And we get some interventional thing on him, and he was like so excited that they were able to get comfortable together.
So it sounds like there's options. What can you do?
Oh, there is a lot of option for pain management. The thing is, pain management is an art. It's really not a pill you take. It's not an injection you do. It's not something that, it's a matter of art to tailor it to each patient. And each patient may respond to something the other patient would not respond.
Some things you told me about, very interesting types of venom that you can use?
This is the new technologies, actually, that one of the studies we did 15 years ago in Metro, it was a snail venom that it's calcium peptide. We give it intrathecally inside the spine, and that takes away a lot of the neuropathic pain. And it's now became approved by the FDA actually recently. There's a lot of studies from bufferfish to Ecuadorian frogs that they have poisoned, that they are also being used in medicine now.
Those may seem like green remedies, but are there some more high-tech remedies as well?
We use a lot like a radio frequency ablation, which is principally we microwave the nerves that causing disease. It's like we had a cancer patient who has metastasis to his ribs, and I microwave those intercostal nerves, and the pain's gone now for weeks and weeks and weeks. So that's something that you can produce. The second thing, we have something called spinal cord stimulator. Principally, we use the electrical stimulation to decrease and control your pain. The patient has total control on that device. It's rechargeable. We implant it around the spine, and you turn on the simulation, 80% of the pain goes away.
That's fantastic. There's help for people who have this chronic pain. It's
Absolutely.
good to hear. So if you've been saying pain, pain, go away, you need to call Dr. Tabat today. The information for the Metro Pain Management Group is coming up next.
To learn more, call Metro Health's Pain Management Group at 216-778-3609 or log on to www.metrohealth.org. Next, reading between the lines. But first, read all about it. At first, the Hearst family didn't find their fortune by printing newspapers. So how did the Hearsts make their money prior to publishing? The answer makes a great headline. We'll read it when we return.
Good Neighbor Pharmacy locations accept your Express Scripts and TRICARE benefits. If you're an Express Scripts or TRICARE beneficiary, contact us today to transfer your prescriptions. You'll be happy you did. Find the store nearest you at goodneighborpharmacy.com.
In Conneaut, visit Gertie's Pharmacy. In Ashtabula, go to Hoffman's Pharmacy. In Newton Falls, visit Newton Falls Pharmacy. And in Wyndham, go to Wyndham Pharmacy. For more information, go to goodneighborpharmacy.com. Good Neighbor Pharmacy, the best medicine for your health.
Here's the news. George Hearst struck it rich during the California Gold Rush before turning publishing into their personal family gold mine.
Where can you try out the latest technology, buy books for $5 a bag, and peek into the past of Playhouse Square? There's only one place, the Cleveland Public Library. Yes, they still have shelves of wonderful books you can borrow for free, but we're going to check out some additional interesting activities that they have. Felton Thomas, director of the Cleveland Public Library, is here to be our guide to all of that.
Thank you, Laura.
So
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you. Always learn something. We know that the library has computers, but now this technology is, we're talking, you're head in the clouds with the newest technology that you've got going.
Yeah, we're really excited about, in May, we're going to open up our Tech Central downtown. And Tech Central is taking all of our computers from our downtown library in the two buildings and putting them into one big Tech Central area. And in that area, we'll have, all of the newest technologies and things of that nature. But one of the things we're really excited about adding is something that no other library has had. It's called MyCloud. And this is going to be the ability for our customers to have their own personal computing. In their
own little cloud?
Their own little cloud.
What information's on their cloud?
Well, typically when people come in and use a library computer, they use it for a certain period of time and then everything disappears and they have to carry, a jump drive along with them to go. But in this case, they'll be able to use our computers, put in their library card, and they'll have their own little personal server area so that the computer, what will pop up will be their own personal thing, their own wallpaper, their own programs that are downloaded, and they'll be able to go to a computer across, a library across the town and open it up and it'll look exactly the same. It's just like having your own home computer.
Wow, that's great for people who aren't able to have a computer at home.
And in the city of Cleveland, about 60% of our folks don't have internet access, so this will really be a game changer for them.
But you've also got a tech toy box. Tell me what that is.
Well, the tech toy box is the ability for people to try all of the new technologies out there. One of the big questions we get always is, well, should I get a Nook? Should I get an iPad? All of the new technologies that are out there. So we're going to have a little area where people will be able to come in just like the Apple Store and try out all these things, except for, we'll be very objective.
You can give advice, right?
Give advice and saying, try this out and take the one and you can purchase the one that you really like.
Oh, that's very cool. You have a bargain book sale coming up, tomorrow, I think?
Yeah, man. From April 23rd through the 26th, we'll be having our Friends book sale. And the Friends of the Cleveland Public Library are always big supporters of the Cleveland Public Library. And funds from the book sale will go to the Cleveland Public Library. So for 3 days, the people have an opportunity to come in and buy donated books that are donated to the system. And then on the last day, we'll have all of what's left over. You'll be able to get a bag and stuff as much as you can in that bag, and it'll be $5.
All right. sounds good. My daughter's going to be a teacher one day, and she always goes to these sales and buys kids' books, so I'll have to send her.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's talk about Playhouse Square. You've got something special going on for their 90th anniversary.
A great exhibit that we put together. We've had a long partnership with Playhouse Square, and they looked in their warehouse and pulled out some things from their 90 years and are going to allow us to put it on exhibit. So, you know, you'll be able to see like ballet shoes from various Nutcracker events and things of that nature. And, you know, you'll be able to see a lot of the playbills from the different performances throughout the year.
Okay, and I think we had a picture up. Oh, there's more pictures of it. It's so beautiful at night when everything is lit up. They've done such a great remodeling job there. I think it's something that, I mean, folks from Cleveland don't know what they've got.
Yeah, and the whole history of how the Playhouse Square came about and during the 70s had the difficult time where it was a thought that they were going to raise all of the square, and then the community came together and fought for it, and now we have what we have.
Yeah, and thank goodness for that.
Yes.
So, all right. When it comes to the Cleveland Public Library, you can't judge this book by its cover. So much is going on inside. So open it up and discover the many ways this library serves our community. My thanks to Felton Thomas for helping us read all about it.
For more information, call the Cleveland Public Library at 216-623-2800 or click to www.cpl.org. Next, who's smiling now? Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. When does the exterior meet the interior? At the Cleveland Botanical Garden through May 13th. Some of Northeast Ohio's top designers showcase their botanically inspired home designs in more than a dozen home vignettes. And on weekends, special Meet the Designer sessions will allow visitors to get advice and ideas for their own homes. To harvest more information, call 216-721-1600 or visit www.cbgarden.org.
If you asked others, they probably would tell you that Laura Todia's smile was just fine. But if you asked her, she would tell you that while it wasn't the worst, it wasn't the best either. Now she has a smile to smile about. Laura is here with dentist Steve Marsh to share how her smile brightened. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Laura. So, Laura, what didn't you like about your smile?
Well, I had two front teeth that had crowns on them, and they didn't match each other in shape or size or color even. And they didn't blend very well with the surrounding teeth. So that made me a little bit hesitant to smile. I was a little self-conscious.
Okay. But you were also hesitant on making this commitment to have a change made. So, you know, what changed your mind about that?
Well, my teeth weren't horrible and they worked fine, so I was a little reluctant to make a commitment to a lot of dental work. So I went to Dr. Marsh's office and met with him and his staff and was just looking for some general advice, maybe some teeth whitening. But over a series of appointments, I was impressed with his staff. They're very kind and very invested in their patients doing well. Okay. So I was very taken with that. And in addition, they just know a lot about dentistry and really had a strong belief in Dr. Marsh's ability. So I felt like if I was going to do something more dramatic, that office and Dr. Marsh would be a safe
place to go.
Safe place to do it, yes.
All right. And knowing that Laura was a little hesitant, what kind of options did you give her?
One of the things we wanted to, and thank you for those kind words about our staff, and I agree with you. We wanted to explore options, and again, as she said, proportions weren't very good. And so we did actually a prototype first in wax. I'm just going to hold it here for a minute so you can see it. But we wanted her to get a sense of what she would look like before we actually went forward to doing it. And we think that's very important to make sure that we're on the same page and we're all comfortable. We also take a lot of pictures, and we showed her the alternatives, and then we said, when you're ready, we're ready to get going, and so that's what we were able to do. Laura mentioned those first front two teeth were very much out of proportion. You can see that in terms of color and space. I do have to tell you, if you don't mind me sharing a secret, she actually had two dental implants placed many, many years ago. Lori, in the old days, they were metal core. The teeth were very opaque. You know, in the old days we did crowns that had porcelain on the outside and metal on the inside, so they didn't look very good. So you can see looking straight on, they were out of proportion, a little opaque looking, a little unnatural. Excuse me for saying all that, Laura. Here she is after we've done, again, we've taken off those old crowns. We actually put new implant posts on them that are tooth-colored zirconium. And then we were able to blend those teeth in, and again, we wanted better proportions. This is that left side, and you can see that after picture where we used veneers on the sides to rebuild the bite, and crowns in the front with a little gum contouring. And there's that
Huge
before
difference.
and after that Laura exhibits, and you can see proportionally and how much more pleased she is with the smile and we are with the result.
All right, so now that your not so bad smile is so much better, how do you feel about that?
It's great. It's very liberating, believe it or not, to be able to smile without any hesitation. So I'm very happy and very grateful to Dr. Marsh and the staff.
Well, it made a big difference in her life, but it's gratifying for us to hear those same sort of words. That's what we try to accomplish each time, and especially to make such a big difference in someone's life.
Yeah, you can really boost someone's self-esteem and everything about them, you know, makes life a whole lot different.
It does. It does change things for the better. It's subtle, but you don't realize how much your self-confidence is invested in what your teeth look like. And I realized it after the procedure was over. It was really clear to me then.
That's good. So hesitancy turned into, this is the way to go. All right.
And I couldn't have said it any better.
All right. So why settle for fine when you could have fabulous to brighten your smile? Give Steve a call. His number's next. My thanks to Laura and Steve for joining us today.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, prepping for surgery.
It's time to get up and go. An exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, I'm Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're going to do a shoulder press to work our deltoid muscles. All right, we got our dumbbells, we're ready to go. We're going to use a chair for this. It's going to be done seated, feet directly under your knees, starting positions with the dumbbells, palms facing you. Perfect. Now, press above the head while twisting the dumbbell, bring it down slowly and back to the starting position. Great, we're going to want to do about 3 sets of these, 10 to 15 repetitions should work. Straight up and down, always use slow and controlled movements, everybody. Feeling good?
Oh yeah, got it.
All right, everybody, now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
Do you have outpatient surgery or maybe joint replacement surgery in your future? I'll bet you didn't know that there are a number of things you can actually do before your surgery to make things go a lot easier and speed recovery too. David Schell, the executive director of Breckenridge Village Not-for-Profit Retirement Community in Willoughby, is here, and Eric Myers, the director of therapy at the Fairmount Health and Rehabilitation Center on the campus of Breckenridge Village, are here to jointly tell us how you can achieve a more positive outcome by taking early action. All right.
Nice to be here, Laurie.
Well, welcome again. So, David, let's start with you. It sounds surprising, but you know, it makes a lot of sense, I guess, if you think about it, that you should prepare for surgery.
Absolutely, Laurie. And it's one of the things that is really pretty simple to do and should be on the top of your list. And you can do that by talking to your physician or your orthopedic doctor and ask them about the benefits of having some therapy before you have surgery. And we know that the outcomes are so much better because of that.
Okay, well, Eric, I understand that you're an occupational therapist. So what does this therapy evaluation entail?
That's a good question, Laurie. Ideally, a patient should have a physical therapy evaluation approximately 2 to 3 months before they have their joint replacement surgery. The evaluation is performed by a licensed physical therapist. They test multiple areas of patient functioning, including their ability to ambulate, their overall strength, range of motion, and endurance. And once that's occurred, each patient will average approximately 5 or less treatment sessions, which will focus on strength and conditioning through participation in land-based exercise and or aquatic therapy.
Okay, so what are some of the benefits that you see people achieving from that?
Well, once the therapy component is completed, they can participate in an individual exercise program that they'll be prescribed to complete up until the actual surgery. And ironically, the exercises that the patient participates in before and after their replacement are very similar, if not the same, so they get a good experience.
So if you do it beforehand, though, you're getting your joints ready to go and familiar with the exercises, and what does that mean for the patients in the big picture?
Well, there's several benefits to participating in exercise before joint replacement surgery. Many studies show that men and women who participate in exercise before the surgery are able to walk 50 feet or greater during the early postoperative period.
They do a lot better than the people who haven't had
Correct.
it yet.
And exercise was also an indicator of who could return home sooner.
Okay.
For example, one research study showed that 65% of those who exercised were able to go home from the acute care hospital versus those who didn't exercise. Only 44% were able to return home, while the remaining 56% had to go to rehab in an alternate facility.
Okay, so you really want to do this therapy. So David, it sounds like preparing for the surgery ahead of time gives you a jump start.
Absolutely, and you can kind of see from, I think there's a graphic that's up that talks about all of the choices that may be presented to someone, either coming out of the hospital and going into an inpatient rehab, receiving home health care like through our senior independence, or outpatient aquatic or land-based therapy. All of this therapy is done one-on-one, and it's really tailored to the individual. So Eric and his staff are a great crew, and they're tailoring the program to the person, and it's available to not only our residents but those out in the greater community.
Okay, that's fantastic. You've got some exciting more news about what Breckenridge Village is going to be doing, right?
Yes, we're absolutely thrilled. And this month we're opening up the new Nelrose Real Rehabilitation Center at the Fairmont Health Center, and it's state-of-the-art inpatient rehab rooms. You can also see pictures here of our Veal Wellness Center, where we do our outpatient aquatic therapy and land-based therapy. And then there's also Senior Independence, our home health arm. And so we're so grateful to the donors that have helped us with these buildings and some great facilities on the campus.
All right, they look beautiful.
Thank you.
So if you have surgery on your schedule and you want to start preparing now, give Eric and Breckenridge Village a call at the number that's coming up next. And you can receive a free guide to outpatient therapy options at Breckenridge Village. My thanks to David Schell and Eric Myers for some sound advice about pre-surgery therapy options.
Find out more by calling Breckenridge Village or visit their website, www.breckenridgeohio.org. Next, legal news you can use.
Hi, Trapper Jack at Nelson Vein Clinic, and yes, guys get varicose veins too. Jay, you just had this procedure literally just hours ago. Do you feel anything already?
Yes, relief. Well, I didn't really do it for the cosmetic, I did it for the medical reason of it. The downside of what could happen with blood clots and everything, just do it. It's out there, it's new, it has great results, and it's painless.
Isn't it time you took care of your varicose veins? Call or log on to nelsonvein.com.
Did you miss a phone number or website? Then here's your second chance, because we're going to list all of that information again. Then I'll be back to tell you how to protect your own home when your spouse is in a nursing home. When your spouse enters a nursing home, it can be traumatic, both personally and financially. If Medicaid is helping you foot the bill, be prepared to turn over most of your cash first. But what about your home? The good news is you won't be forced out on the street to sleep on a park bench. But what if you sell your home? Can you keep the cash? Buy a new home? Rent an apartment? Or do you have to turn the money over to the nursing home or the state? Let's start basic. When your spouse goes to a nursing home, the law lets you keep half of your savings up to about $114,000. Plus, you get to keep your home as long as you're living there. But let's say you want to sell it. Now, if you sell it before your spouse qualifies for Medicaid, then the cash proceeds are just part of your overall savings and you won't be permitted to keep the entire amount. Depending on how much other assets you have, the most you'll be able to keep is half the proceeds and maybe none at all. But what if you sell the house after your spouse qualifies for Medicaid? Then you are allowed to keep the full amount of the sale proceeds, even if that amount puts you over the usual resource limits that applied at the time of your Medicaid application. But there's one important rule. At the time of the sale, the home must be entirely in the name of the spouse at home. If it's joint with the spouse in the nursing home, then half the proceeds have to go to the nursing home. And you'll lose all the proceeds if the house was entirely in the name of the spouse in the nursing home. Let's be as clear as possible about how to protect your home. Before the home is sold, put it in the name of the spouse that's living there. In fact, it's best to do that even before one spouse ever goes into the nursing home. The earlier, the better. That's because if one spouse becomes incompetent, changing the house title may be much more difficult. Your home is your most important asset. Follow this one simple rule to make sure it's protected and to make sure the sales proceeds are protected as well. We'll be right back.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.budishandsolomon.com.
Thanks for joining us. Next week, we'll check out the finer things at Stan Hewitt Hall and Gardens. Ready to collect your Social Security? Not so fast. We'll share why timing is everything. Then we'll craft a memorable Mother's Day creation. Plus, we'll advance to the front lines on the battle against breast cancer and a little-known program that's as important as Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. So until next week, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.